This is CBS Sports HQ. Honestly, actually, CBS Sports Instagram page. And this is a post they made. Deebo Samuel, 5 potential landing spots according to Brian DeArdo. Honestly, here are the landing spots. Kansas City Chiefs, after Tyreek Hill leaving, and they got Juju Smith-Schuster. Adding Deebo Samuel would honestly give them an elite wide receiving core again. New York Jets, definitely a good option. Elijah Moore is probably the best wide receiver right now. Adding Deebo would definitely be a good option. Detroit Lions, honestly a great option as well. I think they just need to focus on a quarterback, really. I feel like that's their main objective right now. New Orleans Saints, I feel like they already have Jameis Winston. They should maybe be able to trade their pick to maybe get up, to get maybe trade for Deebo. I could definitely see that. The Packers, I think that would definitely be a good option after Vontae. Honestly, I feel like that'd be a great option. And I really agree with that list. I would honestly add the Browns, though. After losing Jarvis Landry, I feel like that could definitely be a good move for them. And him and Deshaun Watson with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, that would honestly make them lethal. With Myles Garrett, too. Honestly, a great option there. And here's the NBA playoff games for tonight. This is the first game, or game 3, actually. The Jazz versus the Mavericks, 126 to 118. I couldn't watch this game just because of what was happening. For some reason, they didn't have the game on. Jalen Brunson dropped 31 points with 5 assists. Honestly, the Jazz are looking disappointing offensively. And it looks like another year of just disappointments in general. I don't know what's going on with the Jazz, but honestly, they're really underperforming. And they're really just an overrated team. I feel like a lot of people say the Suns are overrated. The Jazz are definitely overrated. And I don't know if I can take them seriously anymore. You can't beat them. With Luka being out, I feel like that's definitely a bad sign. The series is 2-1 now, definitely a good game. And the NBA playoffs, this is the second game. The Timberwolves versus the Grizzlies, 104 to 95. Honestly, this game was a great comeback for the Grizzlies in general. They were actually down 26 points. And they actually were coming back during halftime. They lost the lead after. Actually, the deficit really increased after halftime. And then they came back again in the fourth and honestly just took over. Honestly, great game. Ja Morant had 16 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists, a triple-double, and 3 blocks. Honestly, great game from him. Bane, honestly, was the player of the game. He really carried the game. Let's look at his stats real quick and see what's happening. Honestly, he had a great game with 26 points. Honestly, he was their best shooter today, and they just played good. D'Angelo Russell had 22 points. Honestly, a great game from him. Anthony Edwards is the 19. Honestly, I expected a bit more points, but great performance in general. Those are all the games on right now. There's a game on the Nuggets versus the Warriors. Honestly, a great game. Let's see the stats of that game as well. I actually have to look it up because the NBA.com hasn't released the information yet. So let's see what that game's like. Klay Thompson had 26 points. Jordan Poole, honestly, another great performance. Definitely a great draft pick from them. He had 27 points. The final score is Warriors 118 to 103 Nuggets. Jokic dropped 37 points. Honestly, a great performance from him with 18 rebounds. Honestly, those are Wilt-type numbers right there. Honestly, a great game. Aaron Gordon with 18. Will Barton, 13. Honestly, a great game from all the players. And now the series is 3-0. Honestly, not that good of a sign for the Nuggets. Looking like they're going to get swept. Jordan Poole is really showing as the next promising player up. Hopefully they can get Kuminga in there at some point. Honestly, I think he's going to be very good. Moses Moody as well, and Wiseman. I feel like they definitely have a promising young core. Them getting injuries could have been a good thing just because now they're going to be set up for the long term, and they're still going to be a good team. Honestly, a great team there. This is a post by All Sports Culture. Honestly, this is insane. It's about who would win in a fight. It's like the people you have to fight. So, number 1, Lamar Jackson. If you get 1, it's Lamar Jackson. Yeats, number 2. Luka Doncic is 3. Marcus Smart's 4. Aiden Ross is 5. Number 6 is Vontaze Burfict at 5. Tom Wilson, he's actually at 6. Tom Wilson at 7. Will Smith at 8. We, of course, know. Deuce Tatum, that's the easiest one to win. 9. Kendall Jenner at 0 somehow. Michael DeSanto from actually GTA at 1. Kobe Cutton at 2. DK Metcalf at 3. That's the opponent and your fighter. Oh, actually, it's not who would win that fight. It's actually against each other. Morbius at 4. And Chris Rock at 5. Adesanya at 5. and Gordon Ramsay at 7. Randy Orton at 8, Patrick Beverly at 9, and 0, Jason Tatum. Jimmy Kimmel, actually. I thought it was Jason Tatum. Honestly, Deuce Tatum would really be the worst option. No, and he would be the only one who would die. No, like, let's be real. He's not going to beat anyone on that.
He's going to beat everybody. What are you talking about, bud?
And the second last digit of your like, so the second last digit is a 2. So it's Yeet versus Michael DeSanto, which he's obviously going to lose that one. The GTA guys are going to win that. He honestly had great fighting ability in that game. Actually, Michael was probably the best fighter, but still. Yeet versus Michael DeSanto. Honestly, DeSanto's going to win that one. Yeet's not going to win. What do you think? And who's your first like, and the last digit of your second like? Honestly, comment down below. And what do you think? Honestly, all sports culture, you gotta check them out. They have great lists in general. Here's another one. Comparing players across all sports. Young player who has taken early leap to superstar status. I only do sports I know. I don't do NHL. Juan Soto for the Washington Nationals definitely had taken a big leap and one of the best players right now. Jason Tatum, that's definitely true. Josh Allen, yes. Mediocre players who fans around the league adore as a meme. Gardner Minshew, that definitely does make sense. I feel like one time people thought he was actually going to be good. Alex Caruso for the Bulls definitely makes sense. Brett Phillips, I don't even know who that is, but I don't really think he's at the level of Alex Caruso in the NBA world. Future Hall of Famer who hasn't yet to win a championship, Mike Trout. Honestly, an all-time great. He still hasn't won a championship. He definitely needs to. Especially with Shohei Ohtani on that team, they definitely have a good chance. Chris Paul hasn't won a championship. Neither has Julio Jones. Definitely both deserve it. Star player who needs to find a way onto a better team. Jose Ramirez for the Guardians. I don't know too much about him. I haven't watched too many Guardians games. SGA definitely makes sense. OKC. I feel like I might have to add Donovan Mitchell on this list because it's not looking good for them. And they're without Luka and somehow they're still losing. And DK Metcalf. Honestly, I feel like they're probably going to get a better quarterback. But what do you think? Should it be time for DK to leave? And here's an NBA player tiers they also did based on 2021 and 2022 season and talent. Giannis Antetokounmpo at the top tier, tier 1. Definitely is true. Steph Curry, Warriors, yeah. Luka Doncic, I would definitely put at the top tier. Kevin Durant for the Nets, top tier. Joel Embiid, 76ers, top tier. Probably one of the best centers of the league. And Jokic, in my opinion, the best center, top tier. Jason Tatum, he would definitely be tier 2. This is tier 2. Jason Tatum, Celtics, yes. And James Harden, tier 2. Honestly, I'd put him at tier 3. 76ers. And then you have Kyrie. I would definitely put him at tier 2. And then tier 2, you have Trae Young, definitely a tier 2 player. Tier 2, you have Karl Anthony Towns, definitely agree. Paul George is a tier 2 player. Anthony Davis, tier 2. Honestly, I'd put him at tier 3. And LeBron, in my opinion, is still a tier 1. All the tier 1 players are pretty much top 10 players or top 5. And honestly, LeBron's still a top 5 player. Tier 3, you have Devin Booker. Honestly, in my opinion, he's a tier 2 or tier 1 player. That's honestly ridiculous. Jimmy Butler, I would agree with that. Bam Adebayo, I agree. Rudy Gobert, I'd probably put him at tier 4. John Morant, honestly, he's a tier 2 player this year. Honestly, MVP candidate. Definitely progressed. He's a tier 2. SGA, honestly, I'd put him right there. Donovan Mitchell, he's a tier 2 player. Draymond Green, he's definitely a tier 3 player right now. Chris Paul, I agree with that. Tier 4, Bradley Beal, yes, I'd put him there. Zach LaVine, tier 4, yes. Jaylen Brown, tier 4. Drew Holiday, tier 4. De'Aaron Fox, tier 4, yes. And Brandon Ingram. Honestly, I'd put him at tier 3. Anthony Edwards, you have at tier 4. Yeah, I think he belongs there. He could definitely get up to tier 1. Chris Middleton, tier 4, definitely a good place. Pascal Siakam, definitely a good place as well. Here's tier 5. This is definitely good people in here. OG Anunoby, yes. DeJounte Murray, yes, he's definitely on tier 5. Kyle Lowry, yes. LaMelo Ball, yes. Darius Garland, yes. Marcus Smart, yes. DeMar DeRozan, honestly, I put him at tier 3. I think he's definitely up in the MVP conversation this whole season and definitely has been going good. DeAndre Ayton, yes. He's tier 5. Malik Bridges, yes. Fred VanVleet, I'd put him around there. Jared Allen, yes. CJ McCollum, honestly, I'd put him at tier 4. I think somewhere around Bradley Beal's. That's for his tier. Jaren Jackson, I put around there. Tier 6, you have Tyrese Halliburton, yes. These are pretty much all young talents. Jordan Poole, Tyler Hero, yes. RJ Barrett, yes. Cade Cunningham, yes. Evan Mobley, yes. Scotty Barnes, yes. Jalen Green, yes. Tyrese Maxey, yes. Malik Bridges, or actually Miles Bridges, yeah, yes. And John Collins, yes. You have Robert Williams, Kyle Kuzma, and Klay Thompson. Yes, I all agree with that. Klay Thompson's honestly not any tier above that just because his injury history. But honestly, what do you think about all the tiers I just did? Hopefully you agree with all of them, but what do you think? Honestly, there's some big news in the sports world, just in general, around these times. The NBA playoffs is honestly a crazy time. And honestly, this is probably going to be my last part of the video, but 3 college basketball coaches, legends, stepping down in less than 2 years. Rory Williams, North Carolina. Coach K, Duke. And then Jay Wright. Honestly, Villanova. He was supposed to be pretty much the catalyst to Coach K. Probably the next best coach in college basketball right now. Him and Bill Self I would probably consider as well. But honestly, Jay Wright. But he's retiring. Honestly, insane. Some people think the NBA, and some people want him to replace Doc Rivers. But what do you think? What's your opinion? And do you think that would be a good move? Yes or no? And honestly, this might not be my last video right now, but here's another stat I was finding. The leading scorers for the Warriors: Jordan Poole at 27, Steph Curry at 27, Klay Thompson at 26. Honestly, the new Splash Brothers. You have Jordan Poole, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson. Honestly, great players in general. NBA ESPN honestly posted a great list. I have to show it to you guys. And this is probably my final part, I promise. It's most 3-pointers in NBA playoff history. Number 1, you have Steph Curry. Honestly, not surprising. 480 plus. LeBron James, number 2. Definitely played the longest. Probably been the most playoff appearances in the last 20 so years. So it makes sense with 432 plus LeBron. Number 3, you have Klay Thompson, 387 plus. Honestly, makes sense as well. Honestly, a great list. 2 Warriors players on this list. Honestly, no surprises, but this is probably the end of my video. This is Jaden. Goodbye, and like and subscribe.